In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the unreleased cars and drip feed vehicles that are set to arrive over the next couple of weeks, months, probably into the new year from the Agents of Sabotage DLC update. So there wasn't a ton of vehicles that arrived on day one here in GTA Online, which means Rockstar has a plan to release a lot of them again over the next couple of weeks and months. Let's dive into them right now. And we begin on the legendary Motorsports site. Let's start with the Invetero Coquette D5, which is going to be in the sports car class and has a price of $1,730,000. Now, a lot of people are going to be super excited about this car because it's essentially giving off the vibes of the Grand Theft Auto 4 Corvette, which not only was one of the best cars in that game, but also just reeks with nostalgia. Obviously, fans that play GTA 4 driving around as Nico or Luis or Johnny Klebitz in Liberty City probably use this vehicle a ton. It's obviously a two-door vehicle and the only car on the legendary Motorsports site. We don't quite know the release order just yet, as the update has literally come out just minutes ago, but that's going to be one of the fan favorite vehicles. I'm sure Rockstar knows that, so it might be a good bit before that vehicle is released. Heading on over to the Southern San Andreas Super Auto site, we've got two vehicles that are going to be introduced on this vehicle website. The first is the Vapid Firebolt ASP. This is a two-door off-road vehicle. Its price is $1,894,500. I'm honestly not a big truck guy, and when I first saw the name of this, I thought it might have been Rockstar's version of like the Ford Lightning, like an electric pickup truck. But honestly, this just looks more like a normal car that we might see on the streets of Vice City and Leonida. So it would not shock me at all if this is a car that was just simply brought back from Grand Theft Auto 6. It looks like one you would see in pedestrian traffic, again, in Vice City. Other than that, you've got the Vapid Uranus Lawspeed. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. It is going to be in the Sports Classic category. Again, it is a two-seater, and its price is $1,140,000. And by the way, for each of these cars, I'll show you like the in-game picture that you would get if you actually click on each vehicle. That's all we have right now. We don't have any further descriptions of the cars. But again, because there is two vehicles on this site, we can assume that the Firebolt ASP is going to be releasing first, and then the Uranus Lawspeed is going to be releasing second on the list. And then on the Warstock Cash and Carry site, this is where we're going to see a lot of the new vehicles introduced in this update. And it actually begins with, weirdly enough, being able to buy the Taco Van, which of course is a one-seater. And it's got a trade price, which means it'll be unlocked for probably accomplishing a lot of the various missions. And there's even going to be a part 2 of this update, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But anyways, the buy it now price, $345,000. The trade price, $258,750. The next vehicle on the list is the Williard Outreach Faction Interceptor. It is a two-door emergency police car. Again, you can also see it has a buy it now price and a trade price. The buy it now price, pretty steep, $4,150,000, with the trade price being $3,112,500. So obviously the more expensive they get, the more you're going to save by unlocking the trade price. Something I would recommend is you're literally going to save around $1 million there. So something I would highly recommend. The next police vehicle on the list is going to be the Invetero Coquette D10 police variant. All the police cars are in the emergency class. This one is also an Interceptor. It has a crazy buy it now price of $5,620,000 and a slightly less expensive trade price, $4,215,000. So again, I highly recommend the trade prices when it comes to some of these insane police Interceptor cars. That one's also a two-door. Police vehicles seem to be a big part of this update. Our next vehicle on the list can actually seat 16 people. It is the Buckingham DH7 Iron Mule. This thing is a beast. It's got a buy it now price of $2,345,000 and a trade price of $1,758,000. $750. And if you're wondering why the trade prices are so exact, it's because you get 25% off, which leads to some funkier numbers than the buy it now price. And then last but not least, you've got, at least on this website, the 16-seater Titan 250D, which has a buy it now price of $4,870,000 and a trade price of $3,652,500. So those are all the vehicles right there on the Warstock cash and carry site. You can see from that site alone, you're going to need to have quite a bit of money just to be able to afford all of these vehicles. Now, there's one more vehicle that's going to be released as well. I'm not sure what website it's going to be on. We haven't seen that quite yet. It is the Western Duster 300H. This, of course, is in the Plains category, and it, of course, is going to be part of the drip feed. It's not here right now on day one. So it looks like as things currently stand, we've got about 9 drip feed vehicles that'll be released over the next couple of weeks and months, again, probably into 2025. And since we're on the subject of vehicles and honestly where you might store some of them if you've already, for whatever reason, filled up your garment factory, we are going to be getting a new property later on. And that new property is going to have 20 extra garage slots, which means in total, there'll be 30 from this update. And it's actually the McKenzie Airfield hangar. When it arrives in game, the description says, since the previous owner brutally murdered every debt enforcement agent, the McKenzie Field hangar is back on the market, a prime location for those wishing to set themselves up in independent trade. So it looks like that might have some sort of business or other missions that are associated with it, but at a very minimum, it's going to come with 20 extra garage slots that will allow you to store these new cars. And since we're on the subject of drip feed, there's also going to be new police outfits that are added in this DLC that are not quite here yet. You've got winter and summer versions of an LSPD officer, winter and summer highway patrols, as well as the noose outfit that was unlocked for everyone since we completed the heist challenge before this DLC arrived. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's a lot of new clothing in this update. According to Rockstar Games insider Tez Funds 2, he only counts 113 new clothing items, going on to say, yep, don't expect much in terms of clothing. And that includes all the drip feed as well. So unfortunately, if that's your thing, it seems like clothing might be a little bit lacking from this DLC. So there's definitely a lot of interesting stuff that's going to be arriving over the next couple of weeks and months as a part of the drip feed here in the Agents of Sabotage DLC update. Let me know which vehicle you're most excited for or which piece of content you're looking forward to the most in those comments down below. I would love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the Rockstar Games videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.